DoorDash, the company that put the neighborhood in your pocket. For most of history, distance determined convenience. If a restaurant was nearby, you could eat there. If a store was nearby, you could shop there. If something wasn't nearby, you traveled. Commerce depended on movement. People moved to products. People moved to services. People moved to businesses. Then the internet changed information. Google brought information to you. Netflix brought entertainment to you. Uber brought transportation to you. And then a new question emerged. What if local commerce came to you as well? What if an entire neighborhood could fit inside a smartphone? A restaurant, a grocery store, a pharmacy, a convenience store, all available with a few taps. This is the story of DoorDash, the company that helped turn local commerce into an on-demand network. Food delivery existed long before DoorDash. Pizza delivery, Chinese takeout, local restaurants with delivery drivers, courier services. The concept wasn't new. The limitations were. Many restaurants lacked delivery capabilities. Small businesses often couldn't afford drivers, dispatch systems, delivery logistics, technology infrastructure. Customers faced limited options. Delivery zones were small. Ordering often required phone calls. Menus were difficult to compare. The system worked, but it didn't scale efficiently. And throughout Bay Origins, we've seen what happens when Silicon Valley discovers a fragmented system. Someone builds a platform. In 2013, 4 Stanford students launched a company called PaloAltoDelivery.com. Tony Hsu, Andy Fong, Stanley Tang, Evan Moore. The idea emerged from a simple observation. Many local businesses wanted delivery. They simply lacked the infrastructure. The founders weren't looking at restaurants. They were looking at logistics. A subtle but important distinction, because logistics problems often become platform opportunities. The company eventually became DoorDash, but the insight remained the same. Small businesses needed access to delivery infrastructure. One of DoorDash's most important innovations wasn't delivery itself. It was coordination. The platform connected 3 different groups: customers, merchants, drivers. Each group needed the others. Customers wanted convenience. Restaurants wanted demand. Drivers wanted opportunities. DoorDash created a marketplace where all 3 could interact. And as participation increased, the system became more valuable. A familiar Silicon Valley pattern. Network effects. Like many modern Bay Area companies, DoorDash depended on technologies developed elsewhere. Smartphones, GPS mobile payments, cloud computing, real-time mapping. None were invented by DoorDash. The innovation came from integration, combining these technologies into a seamless logistics platform. Open the app, browse options, place an order, track delivery, receive the product. What once required multiple systems became a single experience. And experiences often matter more than technologies. Historically, large companies enjoyed advantages in delivery. National chains could afford logistics networks. Small businesses often could not. DoorDash changed the equation. Instead of every restaurant building its own delivery fleet, thousands of businesses could share the same delivery infrastructure. The model resembled another recurring Bay Origins theme: shared infrastructure. Railroads served many companies. The internet served many websites. Cloud computing served many businesses. DoorDash created shared local delivery infrastructure, and shared infrastructure tends to accelerate growth. Many people think of DoorDash as a food delivery company. That's understandable. It's how most people first encountered the platform. But over time, DoorDash expanded. Groceries, convenience items, retail goods, pharmacy products. The company's ambitions extended beyond meals. The larger goal was local commerce. Anything nearby, delivered quickly, a broader vision, and one that reflects a larger Silicon Valley trend. Software platforms often begin with a niche, then expand into ecosystems. One of the most fascinating aspects of DoorDash is what it represents historically. The early internet moved information instantly, across great distances. Emails, search results, websites, digital files. DoorDash applied similar coordination principles to physical products. Food, groceries, medicine, retail purchases. The challenge was far more complicated. Atoms are harder to move than bits. Traffic exists. Weather exists. Distance exists. Yet software increasingly coordinated these physical systems. The digital world and physical world began merging. Throughout history, economic development has often depended on logistics. Can goods move efficiently? Can resources reach consumers? Can systems coordinate supply and demand? DoorDash addressed these questions at a neighborhood scale, not globally, not nationally, locally. And local systems matter, because daily life happens locally. Meals, groceries, errands, pharmacy visits. The platform inserted itself into everyday routines. And once a technology becomes part of everyday routines, it becomes infrastructure. A common misconception is that DoorDash is primarily about food. The deeper story is coordination. DoorDash did not invent delivery. It did not invent restaurants. And it did not invent local commerce. Its innovation was creating a software layer that connected fragmented participants, customers, merchants, drivers, at scale, in real time. And once again, software transformed an existing industry. Throughout Bay Origins, we followed Silicon Valley's expanding influence. Computers, networks, information, payments, transportation, media, social relationships. DoorDash represents another stage in that evolution. The internet was no longer simply organizing digital experiences. It was organizing physical experiences. The movement of products through cities, the flow of commerce through neighborhoods, the logistics of everyday life. Earlier internet companies moved information instantly. DoorDash applied similar principles to moving goods. And perhaps that is one of Silicon Valley's defining characteristics: the belief that almost any system can be improved through better coordination. Which brings us back to the question at the heart of Bay Origins. Why did it happen here? Perhaps because Silicon Valley repeatedly looks at complexity and sees a platform waiting to be built. The innovator's ledger. Lesson 1. Infrastructure creates opportunity. DoorDash didn't build restaurants. It built infrastructure that restaurants could use. The strongest businesses often enable others rather than replacing them. Lesson 2. Coordination is a competitive advantage. Many industries remain fragmented. Platforms create value by reducing coordination costs. Look for inefficiencies between supply and demand. Lesson 3. Software is expanding into physical systems. The biggest opportunities are no longer limited to digital products. Increasingly, software is coordinating real-world activities. The next frontier may exist outside the screen. Founder's question. DoorDash succeeded because it connected businesses, customers, and drivers through a shared logistics network. What fragmented ecosystem in your industry could become dramatically more valuable if all participants shared the same infrastructure? Closing. DoorDash did not invent delivery. It did not invent restaurants. And it did not invent logistics. What it reinvented was coordination. A neighborhood became searchable. Local businesses became accessible. And physical commerce became increasingly on demand. The internet once connected computers. DoorDash helped it coordinate cities. And once again, the future emerged from the Bay Area. This is Bay Origins, birthplace of the future.